So you've heard some shit about Portland, or maybe you haven't, I don't know. But a lot of exaggerated news has come out of this place that it is the homeless capital of the world, or that it's got protests day and night, or that it's just completely gone downhill, which maybe there's some truth to, or was some truth to. But what's the actual truth? How bad has it gotten, and is it improving at all? Yep, all right, next video. But no, seriously, the answer to that question is honestly yes and no. So if you want my take on things mixed in with some recent data points, stick around. So here's the truth, and if you don't like it or you don't want to believe it, that's fine. I ain't got time for your bullshit. But the truth of the matter is that Portland did not actually get as bad as the prevailing narrative. Even so, some parts of Portland did get bad, I'll admit. I'm about to nosedive into all of it, but first, if you are thinking of making a move to the Portland metro area, whether that's in the near or distant future, I would absolutely love to help you make that a smooth move and help you buy your perfect home. You'll find all my contact information right down below this video, so make sure you reach out via call, text, email, or better yet, grab some time on my calendar and book a video call with me personally so that we can have a conversation about your plans to move to Portland and see if we can figure out how to get you into your dream home. So 2020 was when everything allegedly went downhill. There were indeed riots and violent protests on a nightly basis at one point. There was indeed property damage, and there were various political groups and movements, not saying any names, making a big mess of the city. Did it have lasting impacts? Absolutely. Was it widespread across Portland? Not as much as you might think. In this video, we're going to talk primarily about downtown, but just know that there is a lot, and I mean a lot more to Portland than just downtown. In all the time I've lived in this city, downtown Portland is probably an area that I've spent the least amount of time in, with the exception of going to the farmers market there, which is fantastic. I lived in Southeast Portland during the 2020 riots, about 70 blocks away from downtown, and look, if nobody told me what was going on, I wouldn't have even known. However, there were many businesses in downtown that were forced to shut down forever during and after the pandemic and the riots, including food cart pods that took up entire city blocks. Places like this really gave downtown Portland its unique character and charm. But in my neighborhood, new businesses were actually opening. Now at the end of 2023, in the wake of all that craziness, we've seen a gradual increase in theft and vandalism since 2020. This is focused across the inner parts of the city and downtown, and many large companies have chosen to close their doors there for good, including Nike, Target, and REI. Side note, all those businesses still exist in other parts of Portland and the surrounding suburbs, which are awesome. There's some links down below this video to Suburbs of Portland, so make sure you check those out after this video. But there's certain streets in the downtown area that have been taken over by homeless drug addicts doing drugs in open air. It's true. Knowing this, you might assume that Portland has continued to decline farther and farther into oblivion. However, according to a recent report, Portland has actually seen a higher than expected recovery rate from the pandemic. Based on the number of visitors in the downtown area from March to mid-June of 2023, Portland saw a recovery rate of 61% compared to the same time period in 2019. That's much better than the 30% recovery rate that was previously estimated, but don't get it twisted. Portland is among some of the slowest US cities to recover from the pandemic. To put things into perspective, every single country across the nation, and probably even the world, took a big hit from the pandemic, and all are bouncing back at their own pace. For example, leading the pack are cities like San Jose, California, Oklahoma City, and Miami. These all have over 90% recovery rates of their pre-pandemic foot traffic, but there are other cities like Portland that are struggling to bounce back, like San Francisco, Seattle, Louisville, Kentucky, and St. Louis. It is no doubt that the pandemic and the rioting that took place during that time as well had significant impacts on the downtown Portland area. So what's next? Is downtown Portland going to slowly continue to improve? Is it going to plateau? Or is it going to get even worse? We're seeing higher than ever vacancies for businesses and offices alike, but there are currently plans in place, some of which are already being implemented to breathe new life into the downtown Portland area. For example, earlier this year, a couple tech companies invested in taken one of Portland's most classic food cart pods to revamp it completely into something truly special. It's now called Midtown Beer Garden, a clean, heated, covered, and safe area that features 28 food carts, new and old. In a beer garden, the area holds up to 300 people and even features live music sometimes. The city government is also not sitting idly and has recently implemented incentives to local businesses in the form of unprecedented business tax credits to encourage businesses to lease retail and office space again. With businesses gradually starting to reopen in the area, it will increase foot traffic and make people feel safe and excited to go to downtown again. The program will allow each eligible business a credit for the full amount of business license tax in a year, up to $250,000 per taxpayer. The governor of Oregon has also implemented a task force that is specifically dedicated to cleaning up trash and graffiti in the downtown area, as well as aiding with the homeless and drug crisis there. Portland is not completely better, and the impacts of these current efforts might take a long time to actually see, but I've already noticed cleaner streets in downtown, and truthfully, I think downtown Portland is on the mend. Now remember what I said though, there's a lot more to Portland than downtown, and the stuff that I'm talking about here is largely concentrated to the inner parts of the city and the downtown area, but if you venture even just a tiny bit to the northwest, for example, you'll find great neighborhoods such as Nob Hill, which I am excited to take you on a full walking tour in this video right here. So click that video to see what Northwest Portland is all about. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over there.